Hey guys, we always promise to give you all the good and all the bad when it comes to moving to Summerville and the whole Charleston market. So we're going to run through a list today.
Yep. So we've got 7 lies about moving to Summerville, South Carolina. Jeff, I want you to debunk all of these, and I'm going to help you too.
I'm going to need the help.
But I truly think most of them are lies. There are some truth to them.
There is some truth to it, but listen, some of it comes down to if you're a glass half full, glass half empty kind of person. But, with some of the bad there's a good reason for it.
And also the perspective of where you're coming from too.
Yeah.
So that's going to be. So
absolutely.
The number one thing is South Carolina is a hot, humid, horrible place to live.
It is a hot, humid, horrible place to live. No, not really. Listen, Mark and I both came from northern states. I'm from Pennsylvania. Mark's from Mass. And my first year here, I literally thought I was going to die. I thought, what was I doing? This is horrible. Because I picked the worst year. There was like 2 weeks of 110 degree heat index. And I thought, man, if this is like this every year, I'm done.
Yeah.
It has not been that way.
You get climatized.
You do.
Right? You adjust to it. I remember the first 6 years I moved here, I didn't wear a coat.
Yeah.
And I almost didn't wear anything in July and August.
Oh, don't picture that.
Because it was so
that from your memory.
Horribly, disgustingly hot.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, I'd be in Pittsburgh and it would be 75 degrees and I'd be like, it is way too hot to go mow the grass. I am not going out there. Now, if it's 95, I'm used to it and I'm out there running around.
Yeah, for sure.
Humidity is a player.
Humidity is definitely a player. Even after the 25 years that I've been here,
yeah,
I'm a big boy. I sweat.
Yeah.
You're going to sweat if you're a big boy.
If you're outside all day, you might have a shirt change coming your way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the flip side of that is, listen, I'm golfing and boating in January.
Yeah, right now it's February 5th or something like that.
Yeah.
And we are in shorts and short sleeve shirts.
Yep.
So there's a plus to that for sure.
It's really only like a 4-week period. That end of July into August gets a little squirrely. You do a whole lot more inside than you do outside. But not as bad as I thought it would be.
All right, lie number 2, Jeff. South Carolina is constantly hit by hurricanes.
Yeah, I was terrified of this. This was one of my biggest fears coming down.
Yeah.
You put me in snow and ice and I know what to do. But when and I was a bit of a big baby, when the first couple tropical storms were headed this way. Did you leave?
In 1999, we moved here in 99.
Yeah.
And in 99, I think it was Hurricane Florence or something like that. And it was coming for South Carolina. Me and my mom, we drove 18 hours just to get to Tennessee.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, we turned one into a trip back to Pittsburgh to visit Indra's grandmother.
At least you made some of it.
Well, yeah, and another one, it was coming in from a northern track, and we went to Disney World. So, hey, I might I know my girls they're hoping for hurricanes to come. They want the monster to come here so they can go on vacation.
Yeah, it's like mini vacations.
Yep.
And if the big one is coming, use it as that. Don't stick around here and wait to see. Who wants to be here with no power for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Hurricane Hugo was the last big boy. Right?
And that was a long time ago. We've had tropical storms and smaller hurricanes come to this area. I was in Knightsville. I did lose power one time for 2 days. Ever since I've moved into Carnes and, everything's underground, I lost power for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I could put a generator at my house if I wanted to. I just have chosen not to do so because after being here this long, I just didn't see the need for it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a need either. I've been in Cane Bay for 7 years now, and we lost power twice. Once for 35 minutes and once for 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's really not that bad for these smaller storms. But if the big one comes, just
go.
A trip.
And we're so far inland here. If we're talking about down on the coast in Charleston, that is one thing. But we do so much work out here in Summerville. As the crow flies, we're how many miles away from the ocean. It dissipates a lot as it gets onto land. And so I just don't really foresee the monster coming out this way, but every how many years. And Hugo, hopefully that was it for our lifetime.
In the amount of times that we get worried by a hurricane is way less than the amount of times it snows in the north.
Yeah. I was much more likely to see an ice storm that knocked out power for 3, 4, 5, 6 days than a hurricane.
Yeah. All right, so that's myth number 2, lies number 2. Number 3, traffic, I've heard, is just a nightmare in Summerville, South Carolina.
Yeah, listen, we're what, on this one recent report, the top 5 in the country destination, our zip code that we're in right now. And so with that has come a lot of people, and there's a lot more people here than there was 20 years ago. But I think this is a kind of glass half full, glass half empty scenario. Like, anybody ever complains about traffic here, I say go to Atlanta for 10 minutes.
Yeah, Atlanta, Boston.
Yeah,
even Providence, Hartford, all those smaller cities. We're going to be way less. And obviously, Jeff, you say it all the time. If you're going to be living downtown or working downtown, and you're going to be doing a 9 to 5 to downtown Charleston from Summerville may not be the right place.
Yeah, we're going to have a conversation with you about that. But so many people now don't work down in Mount Pleasant or Charleston. Everything has moved out here towards Summerville.
Yeah.
That a lot of people are working out this way. And occasionally, if you get an accident on 26 at 8 o'clock in the morning, it's going to jack stuff up.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to, you can have an hour trip down to get from Summerville to Mount Pleasant or Charleston. So many people working at home now.
Right.
Now, in Summerville here, let's give the bad away too. Like, if you're going down Main Street and you're trying to get from Carnes, where I am, over to go to the Target in Azalea Square, you may at the wrong time of day sit through a light or two to try and get there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been a lot more roads that have been added recently. Putting red lights in on Nexton Parkway is a big one. The Berlin G section, the road that goes out towards Cane Bay, is being doubled.
Highway 176 State Road. Yep, it's going to go from 2 lanes to 4 lanes. Who knows when they'll finish that?
It's well underway, though.
Yeah, it's underway, and they are starting to see the infrastructure. Actually, Berkeley County recently put in a moratorium on building until the infrastructure caught up. But then they pulled it back on one of these big neighborhoods because it's a lot of tax money coming in.
Yeah. And even Cane Bay has more exits coming. There's now, back in the day, there was one way to get into Cane Bay. Now there's, 4 or 5?
There's 1, 2, 3. The third one is already up, and the fourth one is coming. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so maybe more for that.
Yep.
So not as bad as people make it out to be, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Line number 4. Right? Yeah. Number 4. Housing market is just too expensive in the Summerville, Charleston area.
Yeah. This, again, it depends on where you come from. We had clients that came in. Yeah. They sold their house in California for $1.7 million. They came here with like $600,000-$700,000 in cash, bought a house here for cash.
A bigger house.
That was nicer than what they had in California.
Yeah. It just really depends on where you're coming from. If you are, coming from, let's say, the upstate, Columbia, South Carolina. Greenville. Yes, the coast is more expensive
for sure
than inland, for sure. So we are not the cheapest area of South Carolina, but we are considerably less in housing compared to some of the other metropolitans.
I think it's a big bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Because for what you're getting here, and right now is really outside of the mortgage rates. If you look at the housing prices compared to where they have been, there's some incredible deals to be had right now because the builders keep building and they've got to sell X number of houses. They're going to build 30 houses a month, whatever they are. And as they get closer and closer to not selling, as they get closer to completion, they start dropping the prices.
Yeah.
So if you're a little bit flexible, sometimes there are some great deals to be had. Is this going to be a more expensive market than Elk Snout, Pennsylvania? Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. We've even had recently, this is the biggest we've ever seen, so this is not normal, but up to $110,000 in price reduction for spec homes because they had to hit their numbers.
Yep.
Just all depends, time of year. Average median price right now, I think it's $484 in the entire market.
Mm-hmm.
In the Charleston, in the Summerville, Ladson, Monk's Corner, Goose Creek area, we were just under $400,000.
Yeah, when you hear that 484 and you get scared, you remember that that's accounting for more of a $900,000 or $1 million price point down in Mount Pleasant and another bunch of areas in this market.
Yep, absolutely. All right, lie number 5. The beaches are just too far away from Summerville.
They are. if you're a everyday want to have your feet in the sand kind of person.
Yeah.
If you want to go down, weekly, monthly, when people were in town visiting, it's not bad. You're 40 minutes.
Yeah. 45
from here to get to Isle of Palms.
Yep.
Folly's probably another 10 or 15 minutes more.
I agree with that. Yep.
But Summerville is not I want to go take my golf cart down to the beach area. That's not what this is.
And we had one of our clients that lived in Summerville, and she wanted to be in a condo down closer to the beach. So she is what now 10 minutes?
Yeah,
5 minutes
over by Folly. Yeah,
over by Folly, away from the beach, and she can have her feet in the sand every day. In Summerville, yeah, you're just not going to do that. You're not going to want to go down on Labor Day or 4th of July.
Yeah.
There's just too much traffic around that time.
Even if you live down there, you wouldn't want to go on those weekends. It gets a little stupid.
But we were down there in January, and there were 10 people on the beach, maybe.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be in the water, January's a great time.
And there's a couple of different areas, depending on what part of town you live in. If you live on one side of Summerville versus the other, it might even be closer to get down to Folly. But two very different beaches. Isle of Palms, Folly, very different. Both have their pluses and minuses, but they're beautiful beaches when you get there.
All right, lie number 6, Jeff. The alligator, snakes, and bugs will invade your home.
Yeah. My two biggest fears in life are snakes and sticks that look like snakes. I'm a big, giant baby when it comes to snakes. I hate them. They terrify me. And it hasn't been a problem. I come in Pennsylvania, there's lots of rattlesnakes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I've seen them here.
You're up in the mountains, and they are here. There's copperheads here.
Yep.
There's rattlesnakes here. There's alligators here for sure. And there's some bugs here that are as big as hummingbirds. But you hardly ever see in these neighborhoods. The neighborhoods have been pretty much cleared out to the point where we're not going to see the snakes. Alligators, listen, there are absolutely alligators in my neighborhood. They're in Cane Bay.
Although in 7 years, I've only seen one.
I've seen 3 in Carnes in the last year, because I think you're sending yours over to my neighborhood.
Probably, yeah.
You're doing that on purpose. They get to be max 4 feet, 5 feet maybe in some of these neighborhoods. If they're ever a problem, they just go away to alligator heaven. Off they go.
And you can be helpful to the situation,
Yeah.
or you can be the problem.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
Don't feed them chicken.
Don't feed them chihuahuas.
Yeah. No.
It hasn't been a problem.
I almost went to a story, but we'll do that. We're on time.
I'm the one that, and I've done so good at not, I've actually had a few stories that I've popped into my head. And I held off.
All right.
Oh, no, bugs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bugs. Every client that we have from the north comes down and they say, I absolutely want to put a screened-in porch on my house.
Yes.
I did that when I moved here. In my second house, we actually chose not to do a screened-in porch because we just didn't seem to have the problem that I thought we were going to have, and we live on a lake. And so the bugs have not been nearly as bad as I thought they were going to be.
And I live on the woods,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a pool as well. We sprayed our first year for mosquitoes,
Okay.
and we have not since then. And there are problems some parts of
Yeah.
the year. Yeah. You go outside and you're like, all right, I'm getting eaten alive today.
Yeah.
It's, springtime or, when it first gets hot.
A little more out in the country, too.
Yeah. And so we have not had to do that, and we do not have a screen-in porch either.
My sister-in-law did get lit up having lunch down in Shem Creek one
Oh, yeah.
time. Oh, yeah, she got annihilated. It's down by the water, though, the ocean. It was bad that night.
That's a good point. There's bugs that are specific to certain parts of South Carolina, too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go up to Santee, where my daughter golfs in the summertime, there are these flies. They don't bite you or anything.
Yeah,
They're just super annoying.
just annoying.
And they're around for like 3 months.
So like
4 months.
mother-in-laws
Yeah.
flying all around your head, just annoying and making you mad.
It's just ridiculous. But, here where we are in Summerville,
Yeah.
I really don't see it yet.
Hasn't been a big issue. And even we've had so many clients that have moved here now, like we don't hear that from, because we keep in touch with a lot of our people. They haven't really had problems.
No, we never get people coming back in. And
You
saying,
lied to me.
You lied. Yeah. Nope, not happening. All right. Speaking of lies, the last lie.
Last one?
Last one. It's too touristy there to feel like home.
Now, let me think about this one for a second.
Yeah, I threw this one on you.
Yeah. Okay, so listen, if you go downtown on a weekend in the summer where all of the horse-drawn carriages are running,
That's what I was thinking of.
it's gonna be crowded. It is touristy.
Yep.
This is has been Condé Nast Travel Magazine's #1 travel destination in the country, like 5 out of the last 6 or 7 years.
And you're specifically talking downtown Charleston.
Downtown Charleston, yeah. Honestly, in Summerville, the only time when, as a local, we don't go into Summerville is unless you're going to the festival, is the Flower Town Festival. A lot of people come in, and that's just a crazy weekend here because they always schedule that the same weekend as the bridge run downtown.
Hey, Summerville and Charleston, get together, do it on separate weekends.
Yeah, I would love to be able to go down and run the bridge. I just lied. I wouldn't go run the bridge. I blocked the bridge, but I don't want to run it.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
And we have other festivals here in Summerville that I go to all the time.
Yeah.
The Italian festival, the Sweet Tea Festival.
Yep.
There's a Greek festival. So those are fun. It just doesn't bring in as many tourists. Like you said, the bridge run isn't here, and it's not this huge. I think it was like 400,000 people that came.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And even the plantations, like I would never choose to take my family to Magnolia Plantation on a Saturday in June.
Yeah.
You just go another time.
Right.
And it's the same with the beaches. We would never go down, like you said before, on Labor Day weekend. We wouldn't go to the beach.
Yeah.
But when you live here, you have the ability to go whenever you want. You just stay away from those times. Seaweed is another big one. Down the Southeastern Wildlife Expo or whatever it is. Did I get that right?
You did get it right.
I used the words and everything with the letters. I figured it out in my head. So there are times when it is a touristy town. That's what's great about living here, like living in a resort destination. So that's the good and the bad. It just kind of depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. So it's not all bad. You're going to see a lot of stuff on Facebook and on the internet, and people that have been here forever. Don't come here. Summerville's full. Don't listen to all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's really, like I said, they're the 7 lies of Summerville. Yes.
And when you come here for a tour with us, we're going to show you everything.
Yep.
You're going to have a feel for if this is right for you or not. I'm going to take you down Main Street. We're going to show you what it's like to get from your house to the grocery store or your house to the movie theater. I want you to have a totally comfort level for this is either the right place or not the right place. But just come get the big picture.
Yep. Well, if you want to know more about Summerville, Charleston area, anywhere around here, up to Santee, down to Edisto, all the way up, or including Myrtle Beach now, and one of our team members is moving to Greenville.
Oh, you
got you covered.
Beautiful town.
Yeah.
Greenville, really cool.
We got some videos coming about those areas on our other channel, Live in Carolina, as well. Down in the description, click on the link and schedule a Zoom call with us. We love to do Zoom calls, figure out what is the lifestyle that you're looking to live here in South Carolina, and we'll see if we can match you up to the perfect area, right?
Deal. 7 lies. Gone. Debunked them all.
Debunked them all.
Debunked them all.
Boom. All right, everybody.
See ya.
Till next time. See ya.